Tony Colors, owner of Standing Ovation Entertainment and Ideal Weddings with DJ Tony Colors. You can find me at facebook.com/Tony L. Goings or on Instagram at instagram.com/DJ Tony Colors. But right now, you are tuned into the BRI, Black Research Institute, with the niggas, Denoris Wilson.
You deserve a standing ovation.
In the Black American reality, the people are presented with representations of real-life kings and queens through the medium of the Black Research Institute, BRI. These are their stories.
It's your girl, Ro Wilson, and you are now tuned into the BRI, Black Research Institute, with your boy, Denoris Wilson. Stay tuned.
Hey, everybody, this is Arthur Custodio Gomes, and I'm checking out BRI, Black Research Institute, with my brother, Denoris Wilson. So, check him out.
Welcome everybody to the BRI, which is the Black Research Institute. My name is Denoris Wilson. And again, welcome everybody to the BRI, which is the Black Research Institute and Unlimited the Sky. See, I try to merge entertainment with information, and the icing on the cake, it's a dope conversation. Ain't no time for the faking, debating, or the hating. I'm trying to hip you all to the moves they be making. They all struggle, but still find a way to make a way. Fight back. Count, stack, stay black all day. So I seek to supply you all with inspiration, with information to remedy our present situation by showing you examples of black royalty, and you never have to question my intent of loyalty. We're moving forward with the strength that's supremely kinetic, confident, black, unapologetic, instilling self-love is what really we hope. No doubt about it, black people. We dope. Yeah, we dope. And tonight we got a dope chef on ESPN. Tonight we got a dope chef on deck, man. He's a young brother from my hometown. Once again, I don't know if he's from my hometown, but he lives in my hometown right now. You know what I mean? So, and I watched him go from doing the little chefing videos when he's in the kitchen, doing the little slow-mo, throwing the salt on the meat and basketball. I watched him, and I watched him grow, and I watched him grow, and I watched him grow, and I watched him go from the kitchen. I watched him go international with his things. And then I watched him do something real big, man. In my eyes, it's real big for someone to go out there and say, you know what? I got the passion, I got the skill, and I'm going to do this. So when we get back, we're going to come back and we're going to meet the chef of what it do. Okay, and we're back. You see I'm in the room This is the throne room. Those are kings back there. So I'm about to bring another king on board to let y'all know what it's really about. Mr. Jerron Weber. What's up, bruh?
All right, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing good, man. Hey, look, man. Don't be trying to be all formal and all that up in here, man. Don't be doing that. We this is a conversation. We trying to get people to know you and so they know what it do. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Like I told you, I appreciate you and thank you for having me on.
Okay, thank you, bro. But so before we even kick off anything, there are a couple of things that we got to get out of the way. There are two questions that I got to ask you to make sure that we can continue on with this interview or with this conversation. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first question is, are you being safe?
Always. I strive every day to just maintain, stay out the way, and be able to make it to see another day.
Okay. The next question is, are you happy?
Yes, sir. This smile that I have right now is like nothing that I felt since probably the 25th, the night that I eventually became my own boss.
Okay. That's what's up. Okay, so now that you're being safe and you're happy, we can continue on with the interview, right?
Right.
Look, brother, I left Kings Mountain in 1986. You was a little pygmy probably when I left. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
So I didn't really get the opportunity to get to really know you. So I called you, you called me earlier today, and I told you, I said, what I say, man, I don't want to get in no long conversation with you because I want to save that for the interview because I want to get to know you just like everybody else. So tell the people a little bit about yourself, bro.
So, born in 1977, Light Oak, North Carolina, to Ronald Weber and Jane Jordan. So it was, tumultuous relationship growing up, but it is what it is. You always prosper and, not trying to be a statistic, but single parent household, you can always come out of there. You just got to have drive and passion and continue on through life. Moved around from Shelby to Concord to Gastonia to Charlotte, back to Kings Mountain and back to Shelby, and here I am now, 2021.
Okay. I'm trying to figure something out, man. But hopefully they hear you. So tell me, what it do? That's an odd name for cooking and catering service. Right? Like what it I think I inboxed you. I was like, hey bro, you might not want to go with that. You know what I mean?
Right. And I remember that conversation, but you didn't fully understand and comprehend what I was saying until, I came behind the scenes with you. Well, it was February of this year, and me and one of my cohorts, Mr. Maurice Jarrett, you know him as Tudor. That was the first time I really got to get outside of the USA and see another country and experience life outside of America. And when I was just riding around and listening to the music and feeling the vibes and just enjoying life, I'm like, this is what it do. This is what life is about. If you put yourself in positions to be able to enjoy yourself and not always concentrate on just work. You can enjoy some things. And I was like, it's a catchy phrase, but can I, not necessarily monetize it, but can I turn that catchy phrase into something that can stick with the American people, especially from where I'm from? If I can catch it on from there, I can make anybody love it.
I mean, it is catchy. And once I understood exactly, how you were going to incorporate it into what you were doing. I was like, okay, because remember when I saw the truck, I was like, oh, okay, that'll work. That'll work with the truck. Like, you know what I mean? Like that'll go good. And what it do is like, I know it's one of those things. They pull up to your truck. They be like, yo, Jay Webb, what it do? Right?
Exactly.
Like what it do? So it's catchy. So how long you been cooking, bro?
I've been cooking my whole life since I was a little kid in the kitchen with both my grandmothers, my Betty Ann Weber and my other grandmother, Ann Jordan. And it's just something that was, that's just in me. Professionally, 6 years now.
Okay. So what made you 6 years ago decide to, get the documentation to label yourself as a chef?
Well, I had a pretty better, I won't say decent, a better than paying average job. But going through the turnstile of working and getting laid off and working and getting laid off, it was time for a change. And then I was going through, a major life change. So it was time to figure out a career and not just another job. And I kind of came down to Charlotte, brought my son down here, to be honest, to let him see what it was like. And something kind of hit me in the back of my head, like, you know what, you might can do this. And I will also say, if I'm not mistaken, 2005, I think Duke was playing Wisconsin in the national championship. And for all the people in Kings Mountain, I can always pay homage and give respect to Eric Tate. He was a solidified chef up in Kalamazoo, Michigan. And he was down here and he came to my house and just grilling out for the national championship. And he kind of tasted my food and was like, you know what, this is pretty good. Like, if you put your heart and your mind and your soul into this, really, you can make this happen. So it was kind of like a kick in the behind to be like, you know what, I can really do this. So let's chart a path to get where I'm trying to be today.
Well, you know what, a lot of people, right, when they get into their purpose, most of the time they get into their purpose out of necessity.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, they lose their job and they wind up doing their purpose because they lost their job. Right? Now, when they lost their job, they thought that was the end of the world. Right? That's it. Like, it's going to be hard, but losing that job push you into your purpose. Right? Mm-hmm. You walking away from a good paying job push you into your purpose, right? Now, regardless of the money that you may or may not make at this particular venture of your life, right? The satisfaction of knowing that if you want to get up today and not go to work, right? Like, you don't gotta go to work. Like, you know what I mean? Now, there's ramifications of that. If you ain't working, you ain't getting paid. Rent and bills ain't getting paid, right? There's ramifications of it. But you're your boss. And a lot of people, they tend to think that's the glamorous life, but it takes a whole lot more discipline, a whole lot more effort to be on your own trying to do something than to have to clock in.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I commend you, man, because anything that has to do with food is a whole lot of competition out there. A lot of competition. And for you to say, you know what? I know there's a lot of competition out there, but I can cook.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I can cook. I know my stuff is good.
Exactly.
That takes a lot, man. That takes a lot. That takes a lot of courage. That takes a lot of belief in yourself and your skill. So when you decided to do it, was it a battle, or was it like just forget it, I'm gonna do it?
As far as getting into culinary school.
Yeah, or just your own business, period.
Well, I can say honestly, I wasn't no spring chicken when I started culinary school. But I knew deep down that I could do it because I've been, like I say, I've been in kitchens since I was yay high with my grandmother, where a lot of kids was up trying to catch the school bus, going to school. 7, 8 years old, I was going to Elizabeth Elementary in Shelby, North Carolina with my grandmother. And it might have been just as minimal as opening up a can of green beans to help my grandmother out because she was the kitchen manager at the school, for almost 40 something years. But that always came back to me like that's where I started. That's where my roots began. So it's more or less when I got to culinary school, I let them all know like I'm here. I'm not here to play. I'm here to learn, and I'm gonna bust your hind end when it's time to get down. Just because I have that confidence in myself. If I don't believe in me, ain't nobody else gonna believe in me. And that goes out to anybody that's listening right now across the world, across the board. If you don't believe in yourself, ain't nobody gonna believe in you. And it's always gonna be that baddest man at the end of the bench. But never show fear. Never let them know you're scared of them.
Yeah, even the belief in yourself, right, started with someone acknowledging what you had, right? Like, with you and, the gentleman coming down and telling you how good your food was, right? Like, if people hadn't told you that over the years, that belief in yourself that you can do it wouldn't have developed. You'd just be cooking.
Right.
Like you just be I'm cooking, right? But when people tell you and acknowledge how good your food is, that gets your gears turning. Like, hey, wait a minute, I may have something here, right? I may be on something, right? Let me investigate a little bit more. Let me investigate and see if I'm on to something. Now, a lot of people, for the most part, when someone affirms or confirms their skill, because it's just something that they do, they downplay it. Oh man, it's just some fried chicken. It ain't nothing. Because they do it all the time, right? Like with you cook all the time. So when somebody compliments you on it, like, man, it's some fried chicken, or it's some shrimp with some type of sauce on it. It ain't a big deal to you. That's what I'm saying. Because it's what you do. It's what you do. That's what you do. It's not a big deal to you. But what's not a big deal to you is a big deal to somebody else. Right?
Right.
What's not a big deal to you is a big deal to somebody else. And that's who's gonna be buying your food anyway. It's somebody else. You ain't gonna be buying your own food.
Right.
So when you went out there and you did what it do, did you have, because right now you have a food truck, right?
Exactly. Correct.
Now, when you started it, or when you on your initial conception of it, was it always about a food truck?
No, it was not.
Okay.
When I first started, and me and some of my classmates, we can always atone to cost control class. And I can tell anybody that's out there that's thinking about getting in the food industry, regardless of what school you are at, the cost control class is the biggie, because it knows how to, but not only budget your food, but budget your overhead, budget your condiments, budget everything that's dealing with the kitchen. And I had my business plan set out, and then 2020 coronavirus hit. and I was dealing with the Small Business Association out at Cleveland Community College. And the guy, me and him was going over numbers and him telling me as far as how to deal with banks and small investment firms. And like I say, once the corona hit, that kind of shut the restaurant industry down. So, that kind of put a hinder in my plans, but I had to go back to the drawing board and rethink some things. So, my next initial thought was, according to my business plan, I needed almost $100-something plus $1,000 to get a physical brick and mortar restaurant. That just was not happening thanks to COVID-19. But it was okay. It pushed me in a different direction to get out and rethink it and go back to the drawing board. Okay, well, let's try to be mobile with some of the cuisines that I can make. So that's where the food truck deal came in.
So the food truck was more so the backup plan.
I'm not going to say the backup plan because that was, if I have plan A and I have a plan B, that means I don't believe in plan A. If that makes sense.
That makes a whole lot of sense. That makes a whole lot. So what you're saying is the food truck was a necessity plan.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, but that necessity plan is probably going to be the one that you make your name out of. That necessity plan, right? Because
what it do.
Because that's what it do. Because now you ain't hindered by being in one spot. Now you can go to festivals, you can go to carnivals, you can go everywhere now.
Right. Correct.
So what looked like a setback was really a setup.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like COVID looked like a setback for you with the restaurant and cooking, and you wanting to get the brick and mortar and all that. Looked like a setback.
Mm-hmm.
But you changed gears and you decided, look, I gotta cook and I can't let this COVID stop me from cooking. I gotta cook. How can I cook and get my food to the people? And you got your, man. I'm proud of you, bro. I am so proud of you, man, because hey, man, it feels good to bet on yourself, don't it, man?
Yes, sir. It really does. It really does.
Like to bet on yourself because honestly, whatever happens, you ain't got nobody to blame but yourself. Exactly. It don't matter what. It don't matter what happened. It don't matter what happened. You ain't got nobody to blame but yourself because you the captain. You driving this ship. So tell me, out of everything that you cook, what gets the most rave reviews? You know, from what it do. What's the like get the best reviews?
Right now, it's all about these saltwater fries.
Saltwater fries?
Saltwater fries.
Okay, explain that.
So I have a tray of fries. I also put some shrimp on one side, some sauteed shrimp, seasoned and seared to perfection on the left side. On the right side, I have beef sausages that I cut up and seared to perfection once again. And for the turkey lovers, I'm dabbling into people that don't eat beef, so there's your option. And then I kind of cover the middle with the Cajun Creole crab cream sauce. And I top it off with a boiled egg. So technically, it's like a crab boil that I put my own little spin on. That I do have to give some credit to a Miss Gucci Brooks from Shelby, North Carolina. I'll give her the credit for that. But food is always ever changing. And I told her what I was gonna do before what it do became a reality. but I will pay my homage to her.
Oh, wait a minute. So wait a minute. Let me get this right. I'm gonna make sure I got it right because you're paying homage, but you trying to tell me you stole somebody's idea.
Puffy made $1 million off of Ricky. And me and one of my good friends, you know, that's something we always.
Hey man, I'm just messing with you, man. I'm just messing with you. Listen, let me tell you something, man. I tell people this all the time. And I was talking to Tony Goins last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who would you? I'm gonna ask you a question. Who would you think the richest man in the world is?
Me myself personally.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't know that off the top of my head, but if I was to say anybody, you know, I guess my mind would be Bill Gates, even though I know that's not true. I mean, not Bill Gates.
You close.
Mr. Elon Musk. Because what he's doing right now.
You close, but you know who the richest man in the world is? The richest man in the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's Jeff Bezos.
Jeff Bezos, the Amazon guy.
But this is the thing. You got Bill Gates. Bill Gates created Microsoft. It's an actual creation.
Mm-hmm.
An actual